Hello there. Good morning. It is Thursday, October 24th, 2013. This is Eric the Conqueror here. That's facebook.com/Eric the Conqueror or youtube.com/user/thesandman047. It is a wonderful autumn morning, and it's quite nice. This morning, I'm a little bit disoriented at the moment. Couple things I want to go over. Primarily gut feelings and dreams, and like really deep dreams, and pretty much really deep sleep, actually, I should say. First thing is, I was actually going to initially talk about my nightmares, but fuck. Ha! Alright, that woke me up a little bit. So yeah, one thing is, if you're ever going somewhere, like, I notice that when I leave for school or work, and like when I'm going somewhere to meet somebody, I know that if I follow my gut, I'll arrive on time and in one piece, and I'll arrive perfectly. But if for some reason I decide, I better not go the way I plan on going because there might be traffic there. Like, if I second guess myself and take an alternative route, I end up like running circles. Like today, most of the time I get there and get to where I need to be in about 25 to 15, 20 minutes, right? Sometimes 25. But today I decided, I left a little early, so I decided, there might be traffic on that street because there's a school on the street. So I'm like, there's probably gonna be a lot of kids crossing. So I decided to take an alternative route, and there was even more traffic there, so I turned onto another street, and that street didn't even go anywhere. So, I don't know, all in all, I ended up exactly where I am, or later than I had just been if I had just gone the initial route. But with the added stress of trying to figure out where the fuck I am. So, as long as you're persistent and you follow your gut instinct, I think for the most part your gut instinct is right. It's instinct, right? I mean, for the most part, it's right. Because if you think about it, our central nervous system is smarter than our brain, and I don't know, it just is. It's smarter than our cognitive. Our cognitive thinking and reasoning is pretty lame compared to the intelligence and the genius that is the human body. Like, I've asked before, like, who beats your heart and makes you breathe and grows your baby? Like, you know what I mean? It's not magic. Your brain actually does all that, and the gut, and like there's a lot of I think in our society there's a lot of detachment from the head. Like, I said this before, but there's a detachment from the head to the rest of the body. It's like, we gotta get up here and everything happens up here. But no, thinking, I think, happens down here. Cause I'm pretty sure, like, I'm of the philosophy that there are three brains. Well, three centers, so to speak. Your head brain, your heart brain, and your gut brain. And for the most part, your gut is always right. Your gut is never wrong. It'll tell you anything you need to know. And that's all. Like, dangerous. Like, decision making comes from the gut. I hope everybody knows that. Well, that's what I believe, at least. Like, this is your energy center. It controls everything. Your brain, of course, controls a lot too, but it's a lot more rigid, and the control is a little bit more rigid. It's I think oneness and wholeness. Like, you gotta be whole. And that's the important part. Being whole and acting as a unit, as opposed to acting as a unit as opposed to, like, I don't know, a team, I should say. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you guys know what I mean. Like, they're trying to develop this area. This is the biggest bog in the world here we have in North Delta. North Delta. Well, it's Delta, but, you know. Just thought I'd put that out there for anybody around the world. Google it. Biggest bog ever. And, they want to try to develop it, but there's a lot of, not economic, but, ecological repercussions to that. If you disrupt this, like, you know, the whole thing could fall. Bogs are pretty cool, I think. I think, side note, what if a bog is just one big organism? Like, you know what I mean? You know how there's those, you know how you hear about and read about, or like, you know, maybe even witness if you're in that part of the world, those giant trees, like, that span for miles, and every tree that comes out of the ground is actually just a part of that tree. I think bogs are kind of like that a little bit, where all the organisms are kind of like, you know, plants actually interact underground. Like, their roots actually interact with each other. Like, they send vibes and chemicals and, like, well, I say vibes, but, you know, I really mean chemicals. And they probably do send a little bit of electrical pulse to other plants around them. Come on, bitch, let me in, bitch. Yeah, so it's just kind of crazy how all this shit works. And yeah, so it's pretty crazy shit. And if you think about it, a tree is, I don't actually, no, not really. A tree isn't a good example of as above, so below. Like, you know how you see all that, like, all the branches and shit coming up, like, and shit, there I go again, and shit. That happens when, you know, I've already mentioned this, your brain is working faster than your mouth, and it's a weird thing that happens. Anyways, if you notice a tree, like, it has all these branches, and, like, it just networks up above, and leaves grow out of it, to get air and oxygen and light, and the exact inverse is happening below with the roots. All the roots are, like, you know, dividing and networking. So a tree is kind of like a mirror of itself. Does that make sense? Like, so, and then, so it just follows, like, as above, so below. Like, that's kind of like our neck is the separating point. Like, our head is up here, getting air and light, and then our body, our internal organs, like, well, if you think about it, it's actually probably like where your nose is, where your mouth is, exactly where your mouth is. That's the separation. And then we eat the food, and it goes down here, down below, where we get our food and nutrients. And I just think that's kind of crazy and cool. So yeah, as above, so below. I'm a big what's the word? I'm not having a slow moment. Advocator? No. Provocator? No. I really like the word. I really like the phrase. I don't have to be all articulate all the time. Yeah, so as above, so below. Love it. And that kind of like that statement kind of oh man, reflects how I feel about just life in general. Like, as above, so below. And then to the next level, as above, everything's the exact same as low as you go. It's just there's minute changes. Like, newtons and neutrons and protons make up atoms, electrons, and then electrons make up substances, and substances make up the planet and the sun makes up the solar system, and then the solar system and other solar systems around it make up a galaxy, and then many galaxies put together make up a cluster of galaxies, and who knows what makes up a cluster.